the role of the marketer has really shifted in even the last year, the last 10 years, but not being directly responsible just for customer acquisition is the biggest piece. So marketers are really now involved in retaining the customer and being responsible for the customer experience, making sure that they're happy and advocating, in addition to just generating ROI. And the channels have shifted dramatically too, and we're seeing a huge surge in social and mobile in the last year as well. You know, in the last couple of years, social relationship platforms, so platforms that enable you to publish out your content, share the view of your content, analyze your content. Those have really taken a center stage, I'd say, in the last 2 to 3 years. I see those getting increasingly sophisticated and opening up for new audiences. You know, the 12 to 24-year-old set doesn't even use Facebook. They don't like it. They think it's for old people. So they're on Snapchat and they're on Instagram. So I think you'll see more and more of those channels being incorporated, companies using these emerging medias on their social platforms to really strengthen their message. I would say I would put social at the top. So both organic and social marketing. So putting yourself out on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Doing paid advertising is now mandatory to get the word out. Even a couple of years ago, you could have a Facebook page and push out content and look for people to like you. But now in order to get people immersed in that content, you've really got to push it out with some paid advertising. And you can do that as a small business for fairly reasonably, but the reach and the return is huge. Besides social, I would say that listening, so listening for customers who aren't satisfied with your competitors, for example, using tools for that, is key to getting new customers. Listening to your customers who aren't happy with you and being able to proactively respond to them boosts affinity, keeps them around longer, and turns them into advocates. And then the third one, email marketing, is still huge. It's still it needs to be targeted, it needs to be direct, it needs to be totally customized to a customer's particular preferences, demographics, but it's still really key. So those 3 things I think I would put on the top of everything. I'm a social advocate at Salesforce, so I go out to companies and work with them on their social strategy and help them implement, because it's not enough just to be on Facebook or just to be on Twitter, but you have to really understand, okay, what are my key performance indicators and how is social going to help me get there? So I work with those companies to help them make sure that their objectives are being met by being strategic on social. I started in this space when blogs were a brand new emerging technology, and I remember I had an agency say to me, explain what a blob is, never heard of it. People were very nervous to be next to generated content because they didn't know if there would be swear words or things that they didn't want to be next to. Now there's an opportunity to get in front of content that millions of people see via pre-roll and YouTube videos or a Facebook post that gets super targeted. So I think the data tools now are so specific that it just really enables you to get into your specific niche audience. Now you don't have to just send an email and pray it gets to the right person that you're hoping to hit. You can hit the 22-year-old male snowboarder who lives in Squamish in real time, and to that specific person. No one else needs to see that message, and it'll save you a lot of money because you're just targeting the people you want to target. You don't necessarily want the 58-year-old mother from Denver seeing that same result because it's not relevant to her. I was working with customers who were really nervous to be on social media because they didn't want to say the wrong thing. They didn't want people to get angry at what they said. Yeah, but I really think that as long as you're honest, forthfront, and timely, it's a massive tool that all businesses can use. If you're a small business, limited budget, trying to get the word out there, I would recommend, working with someone who's knowledgeable in social media. So perhaps just hiring a consultant to get you onto the various platforms. You can do it yourself as a business owner, but having someone to work with you a little bit in that space to get you comfortable with the different demographics of each platform is probably a pretty low investment risk to make, because once you get someone who understands each of the platforms, they probably have a grasp on the analytics tools that you can use for fairly inexpensive prices to really help you get the right message out at the right time.